Matthew 21, verse 44. What Jesus is saying here is that if you go against God, you don't believe, which is, Jesus being the cornerstone, the foundation, you feel me, of Christianity, of salvation. If you go against that, what it's going to do, it's either going to break you, or it's going to fall on you and crush you. And this, and I think about it. You're being crushed. What's going to happen? You're going to be destroyed, And it made me think about something, because Jesus, also known as the Rock, the way, the truth, and the life, it's amazing how in this world there's a crisis of drugs. And it just so happens that those drugs happen to be called, or some forms of them, or they come in that form, or it is called rock, right? That you go against God, and literally a rock. There's people out here that a rock is tearing them down. I'm not saying that all these people are against God. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying it's amazing how the world works. That either you become a slave to being someone who utilizes that to harm someone else, as the dealer or the people behind society who are trying to crush, the world with drugs and trying to contain their power and maintain it. Maintain their power. But at the same time, the people that are using it are being broken. You understand? The rock is symbolic. How God gives you the grace as the rock. But he can also be wrathful, just with words. Just with words. But it comes into the physical. We have to be intelligent here, and we have to bear in mind that the scripture is true no matter which way you look at it. Look, I'm really thinking today, think about how words and creation and life bears the fruit of God, of Jesus' existence and who he is. The word speaks about how what your eye is, what you give to your eye, what you put your eyes to, it shows what your insides have. Because if you see and you envision good things and you take that in, there will be good inside. But if all you're taking in is darkness, looking at bad things, you see what I'm saying? Not putting your eyes on the things of God, then everything inside of you will be dark. It's in the Bible. Of course, it's in different words. I speak to you in, regular terminology, but it's crazy how they call that to see. Your eyes to see, right? To see. The reason I say it's crazy is because the oceans and seas will cease to exist in heaven. Right? Before anything was formed, there was just the waters. Darkness. Seas, huh? No land. Think about that. How your eyes, if you don't control them, and you don't believe in what you can't see, Jesus. If you don't believe in what you can't see, you'll be in the seas of darkness. I want to keep going here because I kept thinking about that. Then you got your ears. Your ears. It just so happens that your ears sound like ears, right? I'm not reaching him, but truly, one of the pastors that I follow, that I listen to when I go to his church when I can, he was speaking on what you hear, and he said ears. But he had an accent that made it sound like airs. And I don't think there's an accident in that. I think God does that on purpose. He allows language to be like that to glorify him. How, right? Ears. What you take into this is what you're the heir to. You understand? If you hear music that is negative, demonic, the tongue that is cursing, then your body is going to reap. It's going to grow seeds and fruit that are bad. Why? Because the ear intook You watered it with a tongue that cursed. Then you got your nose. What does your nose do? Inhales. You take in the world. Inhale. Inhale. You're born in sin. Inhale. And then you exhale when you breathe out. Why? Because God has given us a body that can take in toxicity, right? And let out the goodness. Because we could take in the world and then only give out life. Continuing from that curse and death with the tongue as well as with our actions. We'll take in the oxygen we need. We only take what we need that gives us life. And we'll let go of what we don't, right? Then we got, of course, the way we feel. Feel. Notice when you feel, you can only feel when you're being touched. When there's an immediate presence of stimuli to your skin or to your part of that body. Something has to be happening. And the Bible speaks about the wise man who does not speak with his emotion, and he'll go to bed at night with that in his mind and his thoughts, and he doesn't let it out and just speak in anger, speak in things that are not really of him with emotion, right? And I find it funny that just happens to be emotion. When you have an emotion, you feel it, right? I find it funny that that's the word that you use, because emotion is just in the moment, baby. You see what I'm saying? So we have to realize that God made sure that word connected, where when we feel, it's in the moment, right? Physically, right? So it's the same thing with emotion. It's just in the moment. You have to let it pass, and you have to let it grow. Once again, connecting. What I've been saying is that God is breathing just the core of life and what life is, proving his existence. We're not even talking about everything else. We're just talking about us right now, right? Just imagine if we continue, right? Now, this is my favorite, and I'll leave it here. The last sense, right? Taste. Taste. And what is taste? The way something, the flavor of something when you take it in, right? And you're going to think, like, how can I relate this, right? How can God relate this? But it says in the Bible that whatever you take in doesn't defile the man. It's what comes out, right? And I think God did this because taste also happens to be, if you think about it in life, what your personality is, what your character is. Like, that's my taste, you feel me? Like listening to music, and just sitting down drinking a hot chocolate. That's my taste on a Friday night when it's cold outside. That's just my taste, my style. Right? Taste and style kind of go together. And I think that's God just trying to tell us, like, listen, you could take whatever you want in. You feel me? You could take it in, but just do it right. Because if you take it in and do it right, you can have style. You can have taste. You're not going to be distasteful. You're the salt of the world. But just do it right in the bounds of my holiness as your Father, in my will. And you can have whatever you want. You can bear good fruit. You don't need to go to the darkness. You can have fun in the light. Man, God bless you. I hope this message touched you this morning, man. I hope my big mouth didn't distract you too much. Love you.